Hi everyone, my name is Paige and I will be leading a 20-minute yoga class today with you all. We'll begin in a seated position, and you can have one leg in front of the other, and if you have hip issues or would just like some extra support, put a block or bolster or a pillow right below your hips just to lift them up a little bit. So engage your core, roll your shoulders back, and keep your spine straight. You can also tuck your chin in a little bit and imagine that string is coming from the top of your head, from your crown chakra, and it's being pulled up, and that will help elongate your spine. So as you settle in, we're just going to take a deep breath. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth in a sigh, letting it all go. Make sure you're not holding on to any tension, especially in your shoulders or in your stomach. You're just relaxed, breathing here. Sensing your body, maybe asking what it needs in this moment. Keep breathing. So since it's February, we're going to do a core of compassion yoga class. Now bring your hands in front of you, one palm in front of the other. You're going to imagine this green tornado funnel coming right down into the middle of your top palm. So as you close your eyes, just imagine in your mind's eyes this green swirling tornado. And as it swirls, you're going to imagine or think about all of the compassionate things you have done for other people. You might not be able to remember them, but that's okay. Just feel the energy of what it felt to do a kind act for someone else. Now think about all the things that people have done for you, the kind gestures, the nice compliments, the different acts of service. Just mentally note all the things that have been done for you out of love. And most importantly, think about all the things that you've done for yourself. Self-compassion, self-love, the spa nights you've had, the times where you've journaled, made art, made poetry. Think about all those things that you've done for yourself out of love. Then bring your palms into your heart center. Take a deep breath here. Maybe let a smile come over your face. And imagine all of that swirling energy being put into your heart center. Now we're going to begin with some stretches here. So gently do some half donuts. Dropping your neck down and around, feeling it heavy, relaxing your shoulders. And now take your left hand, or your right if you're watching this and it's being mirrored, and pull your neck over. Make sure your other hand, the opposite hand, is just grazing the top of your yoga mat or towel or floor or earth. And then you're just gently pulling the left or the right side of your head down, just gently so you feel a good stretch. Now let's switch sides. Again, gently pulling, opening up that space in your neck, giving it a gentle, gentle stretch. Should feel good. If it doesn't feel good, and at any point if there's anything that makes you feel tension or uncomfortability, just ease out of it. Now this time we're going to bring our hands in front of us and walk them straight ahead and then gently come down. You can rest your forehead on the ground or just bend over as much as you can until it feels just right. And then slowly come back up. Good. Now take your left hand behind you, take your right hand onto your left knee, You're going to lift your chest, opening your heart center. On an inhale, and then as you exhale, you'll be twisting to the left. Your head can either stay in a neutral position, or you can try to look over your left shoulder, as long as it's okay for your neck. And breathe here as we enjoy this juicy twist, which are great for your spine. Coming back to center, let's take another inhale, and then turn to the other side. Opposite hand on opposite knee. Breathing in, staying. Take a deep breath here. Beautiful. Now we're going to drop that left hand and swing that right arm over, stretching into the right side body. If you want extra stretch, you can turn your heart center up towards the ceiling a little more. Bring your hands together, interlace your fingers, and stretch. And then drop the other hand and do it on the other side. Again, turning your chest up towards the ceiling or sky for a little extra stretch. Breathing in here. Come back up, interlacing your fingers the awkward way, the opposite thumb on the top, and then stretching again. Keeping your shoulders down. Breathing. Nice. Let it go. Let your fingers float down to the mat. Now, you can remove that block if you did have a block or pillow underneath your hips. When it comes to cat and cow, so wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. You can pat your feet to wake up your toes. Now we're going to inhale, dropping the belly, looking up, and then exhale. We're going to curl our spine and do our cat-cow undulations. So you can go at your own pace and just really feel that spine curving and bowing. Making sure you round your shoulders when you're in cat. And then looking up, stretching your lower back. And cow. Beautiful. Now you're going to open your knees as wide as the mat and slowly put your forehead onto the mat, keeping your arms straight out in front of you for our child's pose. Breathing here. If your hips are tight, you can keep your knees a little bit closer in together. Now, coming to our first downward dog, we're going to curl those toes and come up. It's our first downward dog. So we're going to walk out our dog, just stretching our calves, especially if we've been sitting a lot, or if you're a runner and you should have tight calves. You need to keep your legs bent here. Just feel into the downward dog. And then slowly come into our plank pose, and then slowly you could drop your knees and then lower yourself down, engaging your core. Coming up into cobra, rolling your shoulders back, lifting up to your chest, opening your heart, and slowly come down, taking a breath. Curl those toes and come back into child's pose. Coming back up, tabletop, curling our toes, and downward dog again. You can still pedal out those legs if you feel a little tightness. Lift up your right leg and swing it through into between your arms. Drop that left knee, or keep it up if you want a high lunge. We're going to twist here, making sure our right knee doesn't go out to the side. Look up if it's okay for your neck to your right hand. Dropping that right hand. Now, bringing your both hands to your hips. Gauge your core. You're going to take your hands behind your back, pulling back your shoulders and dropping, trying to bring your right shoulder to your right knee. Breathing here, pushing your hands away from your chest. Breathing. Slowly come up. Release your hands, drop them back to the mat, and bring back that leg, downward dog. Beautiful. Lifting that left leg up, sweeping it through to in between your arms or hands, dropping that right knee and sweeping that left arm up to the sky. You can stay in a high lunge with your right knee lifted, or stay like this in a modified pose. Dropping those hands, now bringing them to your hips, engaging your core, sucking that belly button in. Now take the awkward thumb into the back. Lift your head high and drop, exhaling, dropping that left shoulder to the left knee. Might feel different because you're putting your opposite thumb into the clasp. Coming back up, hands to hips, hands back to the mat, coming back into downward dog, breathing here. Really pushing your hips up, letting go, shaking your head yes and no, make sure there's no extra tension. Dropping back into child's pose yet again, breathing here. It's a great resting pose. Coming back to our tabletop, you're going to bring your hands out in front of you a little bit, dropping your chest to the mat. If you can get your forehead to the mat, that's great. If not, that's okay. You can come up to your forearms. This is puppy dog pose. We're bowing and letting our hearts drop. Really opening up that chest, trying to keep our hips aligned with our knees. Beautiful. Coming back up, taking a breath. From here, just come to the seated position yet again. Bring our knees out in front of us. We're going to come into boat pose. So make sure again you engage your core. Straight back, lifting up your knees. You can keep your knees bent and then bring your hands out, palms up. Breathing here. We're in boat pose. Opening our chest still, and then cross your legs and hug them just to relax for a bit. Because we'll be doing it again. Coming back up. Keeping your knees straight. You can always extend your legs if you want. Arms up. Engage that core. Breathing here. Crossing your legs the opposite way and giving yourself a hug. Rocking back and forth just a little bit. Now, we're going to slowly lower down to the mat. Really engage your core. The slower you go, the more work you put into it. Feel that burn in your core. Now we're laying down back on our mat. Just bring your knees into your chest and rock a little bit. Stretching your lower back. Rocking side to side. Now dropping the feet. Keeping your knees hip distance width apart. You're touching the back of your feet with your fingers, and you're going to keep your fingers and hands planted on the floor and lift up your hips to bridge pose. Engaging the core yet again. Breathing here, really pushing from your feet. And slowly lower, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your knees in your chest, hugging just for a sec. Feet back down and planted. Hands along the side, arms stiff, pushing up again, bridge pose. Breathing here. Imagine as if you're squeezing a ball between your thighs. And lowering down slowly. Bringing your knees again into your chest. Stretching your back. Now bring your feet as wide as the mat and your hands into cactus pose. So they're bent to the side. You're just going to let your knees move from side to side, gently and slowly, following your breath. Really stretching out your hips here. If you feel a spot that's extra tight or has some soreness, maybe just stop there and breathe. Spending a little extra time to respond to your body and what it needs. Now we're going to move our hips to the right and drop our knees to the left. And hold on. Use your left hand to hold on to your knees for an extra twist, or just keep them to the side. Your head can face the right side, or just stay in a neutral position. Breathing into your back here as you twist. Come back to center, moving your hips to the other side, and dropping your knees to the right. Again, letting your neck go to the left if it feels okay, or just staying neutral. And we twist and we breathe. And we stay present. Coming back up to center, sending your hips, and then stretching out your legs, letting them go as wide as the mat or even wider, opening your arms, laying them out to the side. Allow yourself to take up space as you relax and breathe into Shavasana, our final resting pose. You did it. You made it to the end of the class. And as we lay here in Shavasana, honoring the time we took to take care of our bodies, our minds, we're going to repeat some affirmations. I'll be saying them out loud. You can repeat them either internally or out loud to yourself if you want. Or just listen. And just keep breathing. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am filled with love. I am filled with love. I am open to receiving compassion from others. I am open to receiving compassion from others. I am honoring my needs and listening to my body. I am honoring my needs and listening to my body. I love myself. I love myself. Keep breathing. And start wiggling your toes and fingers. If you really want to stay in Shavasana, you can. If not, you can take a nice big stretch here. As we make our way to a seated position, you can roll on one side, cradling your head and your arms, then slowly helping yourself up, keeping your eyes closed if that's okay for you. Coming back to that seated position, noticing how our body feels now. Putting our hands to heart center. Opening them up real wide, taking a big inhale and hugging yourself. And then opening up again, taking an inhale and hugging yourself with the opposite hand on top, or arm on top. Beautiful. Your hands back to prayer. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for being present with me. Enjoy the rest of your day.